Hey guys! The three of us got together and we're talking about our favorite teas this time of year with the crud going around, the other crud going around, and all the crud going around. Tea is one of our go-to things for curing all the things. So, we are going to be talking about herbal tea or
Tazine
if you want to be fancy. We are not fancy. We're moms, we're homemakers, we are homesteaders, and we love sharing what we've learned around our farmsteads and what works for our family. We love sharing that with you guys. So Emily is going to kick us off with her favorite herbal teas.
Okay, so, and I did not, disclaimer, I did not grow any of this. I've been doing herbal teas for a couple years now, so I have a nice stash of herbs that I have not grown. That's my next step in gardening, is to grow my own herbs. But a couple things, I feel like I actually had 6 basic teas that I felt were very important. Timely for now, but important overall. We're going to start with some nettle. The nettle, something you can it actually just grows out in the yard. You can go and actually just find it in pretty much anywhere. It's almost like almost like a weed in most places. So we have the nettle. The nettle is really a great basic tea. It's got tons of vitamin C. It covers really anything that ails you. Anti-inflammatory. It works good for allergies. When I make tinctures, I like to put nettle in my tincture. It's a great immune booster and respiratory booster. That's a good one for the a really good one for kids in general. I like that one. Next one, there's 2 that really my favorite. After a long day at homesteading, homeschooling, momming things, my go-to is the chamomile and the lemon balm. The lemon balm is wonderful for anxiety, for stress. It helps you sleep. Chamomile is wonderful not just for sleeping, but also it works great for allergies. That's my kids' favorite tea. This is a very mild flavor herb with some honey. It's their absolute go-to tea. If they don't feel good, they ask for their chamomile tea.
And chamomile is a flower, right?
Yes.
So it's really pretty.
Yes, it is very pretty.
If you
it's
grow
super easy
it,
to grow.
which I haven't yet, but it's on my list because they're just such pretty little flowers.
They are, and they smell so good. They're actually out there growing. They're little. I don't know if you can see how small. They're very small. They have little white leaves. I've got some growing in my garden now, so I've actually been able to pick some fresh chamomile. Not a lot, but so those are my favorite. Lemon balm and chamomile, my 2 favorite. We'll go next to the echinacea. Everyone heard of the benefits of echinacea. If you start steeping some tea from echinacea, as soon as you start feeling bad, there's some statistics like it'll cut a day and a half, 2 days off of your sick time. And I think it's 2 to 3 cups a day while you're sick. It's not a long-term thing. You don't do this daily, but that one's a great immune booster. It's good for colds, good for flu, sore throats, kind of covers it all. Great one especially to have around the house during the winter time.
And this one's easy to grow too.
Yes.
I have some of this in my garden.
Yes, purple coneflower. It's actually, no, that's the name of it, purple coneflower. So they're beautiful purple flowers. Yes, she does have some beautiful purple flowers out there.
I'll add it to my list.
Yeah, and all these are actually pretty basic ones. Marshmallow Root. This is not one you normally find in gardens, but this is a great one for sore throats. Marshmallow for sore throats. And cough, like a dry cough. So I love this one as a cough in conjunction with, usually if my kids are sick, I'm doing marshmallow root, I'm doing echinacea, and I'm doing nettle. And that's their tea that they drink or whenever they're sick. So this one's a great one to have around the house. It helps with mucous membrane swelling is why it's so good. So anything all the way down the mucous membranes reduces inflammation and swelling in the mucous membranes. And last one, this one most people are trying to get rid of out of their yard, the dandelions.
Yes.
So Dandelion Root. Most people can walk outside and find it. There is, looking outside, it is hard to tell between dandelion and cat's tail, I think is what it's called, the other one. You need to do some specific looking up on which one's which because they are very, very similar.
And there's an app for that?
Yes.
There's just
absolutely
through the different apps, but there's some free ones, some paid ones, and you literally take your phone and scan whatever it is, and it'll tell you what you're looking at.
Yeah, that's a great way to find what you have around your home, to know what you want to also grow in conjunction with that. But dandelion root, great for actually coffee substitute. If anybody's trying to get off of coffee, trying to get off of coffee. For a long time when I was healing my gut, I had to come completely off of coffee. It's a great substitute because it tastes like it. When you roast it, it tastes like it. And it's actually gut healing. It heals your gut, dandelion root. It's a great detox tea. Anytime you're detoxing something, whatever it may be, it's a great detox tea. It's loaded with vitamin A and C. Again, another immune booster. And then also, we've mentioned this before in a couple of videos, there are some studies that show that dandelion root actually taken constantly and drinking tea or tincture, whatever you do, it can help prevent the strain of virus that's going around now, and help you just heal from it faster if you were to come down with it.
So, and this is literally, it's in my yard. I pull up the plant and I only use the root.
That is the root. And the flower and everything, the flower and the stem and leaves are good for other things too. They're great to do as well. So, but the root specifically has the most volatile compounds for this plant. So
that's really helpful.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
Yeah.
And so you take some of these and you mix them together depending on what you want to use them.
And because some of them taste better than others. Dandelion root is not super. Usually when you're doing roasted coffee, it's roasted, and so it's got a little bit different flavor palette. Echinacea, not so great, but you want to mix it with something else and make it taste good and add honey. So I usually do that kind of a mixture of things. It's just depending on how I feel that day. And there's tons of other herbs too, but this is what I felt like was my basic 6 go-to. And actually some that these guys are going to talk about too would be in conjunction with that. But
so our favorite, I came over here and I'm like, oh, red raspberry, like can we combine ours together? So we're going to talk about ginger.
I love ginger.
Mint, which I've dried here, and then red raspberry leaf. Please share what you shared about this raspberry leaf.
So I haven't gotten into teas as much as my friends, but one of the things that I started learning about this summer was different parts of the plants that you can use that you don't typically think of. And there's red raspberry leaf tea, which is literally the leaves off of a red raspberry plant. And Tamika learned something new today.
Oh my word! So I threw all of our red, they were worthless. They didn't produce raspberries, but they did produce leaves.
Yes. So I picked them. You want to pick the young leaves; they're a little bit smaller. And then I dehydrated them, and I have taken the leaves and steeped them fresh. But I also dehydrated some for through the winter and also through the summer. They don't grow as much, but down in South Carolina, they're growing in the spring and they grow again in the fall. So that's when I pick these.
Unless you pull them out of your garden and throw them away.
Right. Unless you do that.
What do you use that for?
So this is good for women's health. I was first introduced to it after I had my 4th baby and I was having a little bit of women problems, but it's good for cramps and it's good for PMS and it's good for all of those things. So I have 3 girls, just word of caution. I did, for the first time, I gave it to my kids at like 8 o'clock at night, and apparently it's a bit of a stimulant, and they were bouncing off the walls. So, don't recommend that, but if you drink it, it can help you get through your cycle and lessen cramps and all of that stuff.
it is specifically uterine stimulants, so that would make sense kind of why it may affect children the opposite way. So
and a word of caution with that. So if you're pregnant, this is not something that you want to ingest at all until you are ready to deliver. So
the
you'll
end
hear
of your gestation.
Yes, you'll hear a lot of women like when it's time, the baby's still in there, then this will stimulate your uterus. So so just keep that in mind. Great, but at the right time.
Yes.
So let's see. So I'm mint. This actually, I was really fortunate. This grows at our front door, just this mint, and it looks like weeds. And we tell people, don't touch it, don't step on it, don't pick it. It's supposed to be there. But mint is really invasive. So when you grow it, just know that you're putting it in a place where you want it to be. But it grows really, I don't do anything with this. In fact, I pull it up, like I just pull it up and it just grows right back. So mint is a really, if you're thinking about not buying it store-bought and you're thinking of doing it on your own, mint is one of those really easy ways. And then like our friends, I mean, are you really doing anything with your life if you don't have a dehydrator? Like, are you really? I'm kidding. You can dry it out. You can dry it in the oven, which I think I did this batch in June, and I think this is before I had a dehydrator, before these people influenced me. And I think I did this batch in the oven. You just have to really, really watch it because it can burn. But the dehydrator, I really love the dehydrator because it makes it easier. And then ginger, I got this from the store, but if you'll look, I don't know if you can see that, it's already beginning to get new eyes. So I am going to put this in some soil and grow it indoors. Ginger is one of those things that is wonderful for your stomach. Ginger and mint is perfect for your stomach. And this grows indoors year round. We lost a mom because she's doing mom things.
When we aren't feeling well, I'll do ginger tea. Ginger and honey.
That one is like literally one of our favorites.
Yeah. That one has a good flavor.
It works
It's
for headaches.
Oh.
Yeah.
It does wonders for headaches. And anytime you just need like a almost a mood uplifter as well. Smelling ginger. Yeah, I know. I had some this morning early. I did. And I'm seriously like for aches and pains, like when you work on Homestead, you work and it hurts.
We work.
So like that one, seriously, for inflammation and things like that, it's awesome. It's great to have not to do tea, but also to cook with.
Yeah.
When you're cooking with fresh ginger, it literally just lifts your mood. It lifts the taste of the food that you're cooking as well. So
I like it. I like it. So here we go. We're going to do a quick little demo for you to show you how all this works. If you're doing loose leaf tea, you just need something that's going to separate your tea from your water because you don't want to drink it. No matter how good ginger tastes, it won't taste good just by itself.
Get a tea ball or some kind of little strainer.
Yeah.
There's tea you can find.
You do? Yeah.
Walmart,
And
Amazon,
find
whatever.
those anywhere. So for this, I just use a French press because I'm using a French press for this particular one. Now, if I was doing the teas that Emily had, I would put it in a tea basket and a little teapot or whatever you use to strain your loose leaf tea, and then steep it for like 5 to 6 minutes. Is that how?
It's usually about 10 minutes. If you're doing a medicinal tea, sorry, I didn't say that. Medicinal tea is about 10 minutes to get the most nutrients, to get the most stuff drawn out.
And did you say you cover it?
Yes, and well, she's using the French press. It's already got a cover. I would just use a coffee cup and just like a plate to go over top of it to steep for 10 minutes.
Yep.
So this is I like the French press. I've actually not thought about doing that. I like that.
I got this idea from a medical doctor actually at the Homesteaders conference. But yes, so for those I use about 1 to 2 teaspoons per 8 ounces. For this one with the ginger, I'm just gonna grate a little bit of ginger right down in there. Thank you.
Oh, I'm not doing a good job.
I didn't actually peel it.
I don't peel my ginger either. I know some people do. I'm not sure why. This is the lazy way, I would say. I take the lazy way.
I just figure I don't peel my apples.
I mean, it's clean. Yeah, it's clean.
So there you go. I just put that in there. Scoop that in. You know, I actually had to do this. I did this because we were doing a video, and it was just easier for me to grab this instead of a knife. But the batch I did last night, I literally just went down in there. I put that in there, and then a teaspoon. Do you have a teaspoon? Otherwise, it's fine. We'll do that. Teaspoon of mint down in there. There it is.
Teaspoon.
There we go.
And that is not broken up too much. It's still kind of in leaf form.
I like it.
So think about it. A teaspoon is in the crushed down leaf form. So
I like that.
this eyeball is good.
You're gonna take your hot water and pour it to cover. All right, that didn't cover it. That's fine. You get the idea. And then I just put that on and let it steep. Now for this particular one, because I want it concentrated, like for me personally, I'm using this for our gut health. I let it steep overnight. I tasted it this morning and I'm like, I could have let this bad boy go like 24 hours, honestly.
Yeah.
But I leave it in here. And then when I'm ready to use it, I just press all that stuff down so it doesn't come out. And then you have your finished product. No leaves, no ginger. And you can just drink it. Add a little bit of local honey. You don't measure anything. There you go. You stir that around, and then there you go. That's all we have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe to this video. And you can also follow us at
holidayhomestead.com or on Facebook at Holiday Homestead.
Happy Homemaker Chronicles on Instagram and happyhomemakerchronicles.com.
And Valley of Anchor Farms on Facebook and on YouTube.
See you later.
Thanks.